Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today, as requested, we're making a start on the multi-level raised area, linking the areas we've done so far with both the rail crossing, the beach, and the whole other side of Brick Nottingham. Rather unusually this time I'm starting with a shaky handheld shot, and that's just to show you the extent of what we're going to be doing, not just this time but the next few videos. Essentially, the table with that sweat on and the castle and all the stuff we've done recently is on a higher level, and you can see the rail line base plates are very much overhanging this table. And you can see here the difference between the table level and that level, and that's because throughout this entire area we're going to have a multi-level setup all the way along here till it reaches back to the original level, so the railway line is flat all the way along, but sea level's on the lower table right the way up to the blue bridge that we've done. So we've got all this space to do something really interesting with, and much like we did on the marina side here, I've just removed one of the boats to remind us, we can have three different levels. You've got the main level where the roads are on up there, then we have this level where Market Square is on, that's just one brick lower, but you can see with the ramp and the very small steps and these steps with the tread plate on, it does create a lot of interest, just that one step down in one brick. And then we've got a further step down to sea level, which is 5 bricks and 1 plate, or you can do it all in one go as we have on this wall with 6 bricks and 1 plate. So those 3 levels are roughly what we're going to replicate on this side by having the road that is here turn a corner and go over the railway track, all at the higher level, and then we're going to have 1 brick lower, so like Market Square, a row of modulars along here, and then much lower than that, much like the sea level on the marina side, we're going to have a row of base plates representing a beach, and in between the two there'll be a boardwalk as well. So this is going to require a heck of a lot of supporting bricks, which is why I've been buying all those brick halls with all the cheap bricks that are large, arches and 2x2x3s and all the rest of it, and I've got an absolute load of those now. I still don't think I've probably got enough, so it may be that I have to resort to buying some Duplo or even using something that isn't Lego to support all these base plates, but I want to give it a go. So what we're going to try and do today, because I think this is definitely going to take more than one video, is basically do that bit I was just describing there, which is having a raised road going from this straight piece round a corner or another straight piece to link up with this, and then ultimately the other side of Brick Nottingham. And in that missing square there on the corner, we'll also be able to put a building, and in due course another building on this base plate as well. I was actually thinking about the new modular for 2020 there, so well, we'll see. So I also then need to continue the pavement round, if this wasn't hard enough, round the edge of there. That's just a cutaway for the subway station. So continue that round, and that will become part of the boardwalk, if you can imagine it. And then even more complicated than that, we've got the tram line on our monorail system, which goes off all the way over there behind the Grand Emporium and Casino. And that line needs to continue, first of all turning to its right 90 degrees to follow this road, and then turning to its left 90 degrees again to then go perpendicular to the rail tracks, and then hopefully I'm going to have a station pretty much right above here, which will then link with the main railway station, which will be in this first bit of track after the level crossing. So we've got huge plans and an absolute load to do. So I suggest we get started with mocking up what base plates are going to go where. Okay, so here I've just laid out some base plates on the table surface to support all the supporting bricks, which will then support the layer of base plates above. So don't get confused, these aren't the ones we're going to see. These are old or redundant base plates that I don't need, that I'm going to be building the support structure on to put the visible base plates on. The reason why I'm doing it like this rather than just building directly onto the bare table is because I don't want the bricks to move or slip. I want them to be nice and rigid. So building them onto base plates will help them stay in place and it be a very firm foundation, because we're going to be building a row of modulars amongst other things on top of all this. So I don't want it wobbly or bowing or anything like that. It's got to be quite strong. So the reason why I'm using these base plates is because I've got loads and loads of spare crossroads, because they used to be packaged up with straights and you need a lot of straights and not many crossroads. This is an old base plate that's a little bit damaged. I got very cheaply. It's got a nasty scratch down the middle. This is a blue base plate, which is, well, not really blue. It's kind of a muddy, horrible colour because it's been, I don't know if it's sun damage or what, but it's not its original colour if you compare it with actual blue. And then this is probably the first base plate that you're actually going to be able to see. And that's why it is a nice base plate. And this is because up to about here will be all raised as it goes up the road to join up with our crossing. And this will be the end of the beach. Right, I need to join these base plates all together and then start building supports that are 6 bricks high up to this table edge, up to about here, where we'll reduce down to about 5 bricks high support as we go on to the intermediate boardwalk level. And this bit won't have any supports at all. Right, wish me luck. Wow, this takes a heck of a lot of bricks to do, but I'd rather have it supported well than supported badly, so I'll press on. I've got a long line of large bricks here, which will be supporting both the base plates on one side and on the other shortly. I've got a few supports under this square, but that will be road, so it doesn't have to support anything that heavy. Whereas this base plate over here is going to be a large building, probably a modular, and therefore needs a lot more support. That's why there's more bricks there. I don't want to waste any unnecessarily. So if I represent the modular with this green base, you can see that now is very firmly supported. And if I represent the road with the road, so very well represented there, see that's well supported as well. It's a little less, but not too much that it's going to be an issue. So you can see already what we're achieving. So this now marries up perfectly with this bit of pavement. And then we just need to do, well, the next base plate I was going to say, but arguably we need to do another one after that, another one after that, and another one after that, and I think another one after that. So, I'm definitely going to run out of bricks before we get right to the other end, but I should have enough for today's session. So I'm going to try and do over here the road curving first and then going straight towards that crossing. And another thing worth mentioning while we're here actually is that the table over here, the other side of the tracks, was originally pushed up to about here in order to support the railway line. But in order to have enough room for everything I want to do on that side, I don't want to have the tables overlapping too much because I need the space on both sides. So I'm having them overlapping only just a little in the middle, and that leaves this large overhang of the railway line. And obviously I need to support the railway line very well because I'm going to be having a huge white train charging along it at very, very high speeds. So I'm having to support that as well, which is why these base plates go underneath here. And I've got things like this green Burt piece supporting, and there's even more which are just out of shot here, which are supporting this as firmly as possible. Probably need some more underneath there. And now I've started using some arches to support this bit and some 1x2x5s as well. I've had to take up the edge of the railway crossing just so I can support that lip. and where I can I'm using a large piece to support both the edge of this base plate and that base plate, so basically across the join. So now I've got a straight supported, a modular supported well, and that straight supported. And now all I have to do is entomb Robin with a corner. Poor Robin. Another thing that's taking a bit more time is this step down. So where I've got supporting bricks right up to the edge of where this is being supported, the next bit is being supported one brick depth lower. So if I just put that back, you'll see that they all just step down afterwards. And that's because the next plate, not this one, but nonetheless another one, will be resting like that and will be therefore just that one brick depth lower. So I can't have those supports spanning both edges. Well, I can, but one brick lower, and then the very last brick for this level is only on that side and not on that side. Tricky. But by the end of this, I'm sure I'll be an expert. And more supports for the fourth area. So I've done the arches all along here to here, some 1x16 bricks here, some smaller arches and a sort of spider sort of shape in the middle to support the road, and a little bit more in this corner because that's where we're going to have things like the tram stanchion, which definitely needs a bit of firm support. So I think this is getting there. So you can see all of that is nice and flat and raised and well supported. And then for this edge here, which links up with my cutaway subway station, I can use actual plates, because a plate pushed down onto 6 bricks is the same as a base plate resting with not being connected to 6 bricks. So that's all the same. I know it's not supported on the front. There we go. A few more. And around the corner. So then, I think one more as well. There we go. So I need a little bit more to fix those in position. But you can see that this is going to be all the area that is at the road level. And then this bit here, if I can just find another base plate. It's another stained one, but you can see will be lower, as will this area here be lower as well. And I think that's something we're going to have to do next time. But that's going to be the beginning of the line of modulars and the boardwalk. And then we're going to have the beach down here at sea level. So this is exactly the same view, just from a bit further down, so you can see everything. This will be the very narrow band of water, narrow band of sand, and this will get a bit broader as the band of sand gets thinner. It's going to start up at a sort of corner in a way, and then this area, not with this base plate, but at that level will be the boardwalk for the first bit, and then the row of modulars at a slightly lower level than the roads. So hopefully it'll be very interesting. And then we'll have a bit of a sea wall along here at the back of this tan plate, which will take the difference in height from sea level and the sand of the beach up to that mezzanine level that this will be. And then the sea beach wall will be a bit higher along that one. So it'll be very much like the marina. Good. Now, before I go too much further, the next thing I've got to worry about is that tricky monorail line for my tram system. And the next piece I want to add is this curved piece, but also just an 8 long straight as well, which I've already joined on using my printed tiles. So that's essentially going to go there, around this corner. So I'm going to need a stanchion here, but I've got two connection points, one at the beginning of this straight and one at the end. So to make that secure and not need two pillars right next to each other, I'm going to join the two pieces together with some more strength by way of a 2x10 black brick, and then underneath that I can put another stanchion, and this time I'm using a smaller stanchion, one of the ones that's sort of got a 4x4 base as opposed to the 6x6 base, because otherwise it will extend into the road. You can see this is already right up to the edge of the road, so I can't go any more in. When I was planning this monorail, it's very hard to put in just because it's so inflexible, because the shortest straight you've got is 8 long, unless you go third party, where you can buy a 4 long one, but I'm trying not to do that. And these long turns just make it very inflexible indeed. So the best I can do is that, which I think is fine, because even when you've got a great big bus driving by on that side of the road, it's way away from it, so I don't think it's a problem. What is a problem though is I arguably do need a support midway on this corner like I have on my other corners. It's got a connection point about here, and you can probably see that that is directly above the top of our steps for our subway system. If I just push this back in position. So what can I do here? Well, if I get another small stanchion, it's going to be, well, right kind of there, which is completely blocking the entrance. So obviously I haven't planned it that well. So I'm going to have to do a pole, I think, that's slightly further away from the subway entrance with another horizontal brick, so it's sort of supported from the side rather than from directly underneath. Otherwise we're going to have real access issues. Right, so what I've built, instead of the small stanchion with lots and lots of 2x2 bricks, is this monstrosity, which is one of the larger stanchion, the 6x6 base, but with lots of inverted slope pieces and a long brick piece and some hazard striping on the top, just for decoration, to enable us to support it from a distance away from where the actual track is. Not the most beautiful setup, I'll agree, but not one that's unrealistic when you think about actual mass transit systems, especially when you've got elevated railways and so on. They're usually quite ugly things, so I'm not sure if that's exactly the right position, but it'll look something like that. And the interesting thing is that this stanchion here is exactly in line with the previous one, and the others going that way, so it doesn't look out of place in itself. And in a way, this hazard striping from the top actually becomes perhaps a bit of a feature. Now I am aware that one of my inverted slopes on the underside of here, you can just see there, is white rather than black. Well, I've run out of black ones. You always run out of the pieces you need, obviously, so that will just have to not be forgotten and be replaced when I can get one. But I think that does give us suitable clearance away from this entrance, so people can come out of it and turn left or right. Left to go down here or right to go round there. And it also adds a bit of a feature, if anything, to this corner, which otherwise was going to be missing something to have on it. Perhaps I would have put a tree on it or something like that, but now I've got a stanchion instead. Right, I'm going to attach these more firmly, and I'm going to start doing the pavement or sidewalk around. As you can see, I've tiled this area now, at least up to here anyway, and it was when I reached this point that I ran out of the 2x4 tiles in light bluish grey. Not to worry, I've got a bricks and pieces order coming with another 100. However, on the flip side of that coin, I don't think 100's going to last me much further than probably around this corner. Nonetheless, I'll have to do several more orders in due course. Now this is quite a large space, both where Robin's standing and here, so I probably will add some street furniture, whether it be park benches or traffic lights or a tree maybe. This area that is the plate is going to be a shop. I just thought I'd put the bottom plate in while I was doing it so I knew where it was going to go, and I'll just build or transfer it when I've done it straight onto there. So it won't be as open as it currently looks. Then the pavement will continue around here, and in a way you'll have to imagine this hole isn't here because it isn't a hole to fall into. As I've said a few times now, it's a cutaway, so you could technically walk right from here over to here directly this side, except it'd look like you're doing it in thin air as we've currently got it set up. Oh, I've just noticed I knocked that ball off. There we go. Oh no, a monster! Although it may not look too much, I think we've achieved quite a lot today in that this whole flat area is now firmly supported. So to recap, we've got a base plate here that will take a modular building that's very well supported, and 3 more supported raised road plates which link all the way up to this railway crossing. We've also integrated a little bit more of our elevated monorail tram system up to here, where it will start to curve around and follow the side of the road again. And we've even done some more paving until we ran out of paving slabs. Now obviously there's still a heck of a lot of work to do down this direction towards the beach proper. There's going to be at least 2 more videos, one would imagine, getting all of that elevated to all of its different levels and looking as good as the marina does. But that will have to wait for another day. So the last thing for today, for those of you who thought I might have already forgotten my New Year's resolution of introducing a vehicle to my roads every time I do a city update, here is a vehicle. And yes, it's the dragster from the Dragster Transporter set 60151. I really liked this set when I saw it, and I thought, well, how on earth am I going to integrate such a specialised and large vehicle into my city? And then I remembered this was Lego and not real life, so I just bought it and took this off the transport for it to just drive down the street like a normal car. Why not? That's what I say. I mean, it's not like normal Lego cars are realistic with their non-opening doors, no side windows, only space for one person to sit in, etc., etc. So why not go to work in your very own dragster with fire belching out the sides? Fantastic! So thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more awesome Lego videos. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, well, I think we'll just have to continue as we were, going this way, gradually doing the different layers of boardwalk and supportive structures for my row of modulars and the beach itself. See you then!